Finally, this fight is over. Honestly, I can tell you that Kimbo Slice against Dada 5000 was one of the worst fights that I've ever seen in the history of watching MMA. Of course, this was Bellator 149. This was the Battle of Miami. This basically was booked as a Miami street fight, even though it was happening in Houston. There was a lot of celebrities in tow for this show. For the professional wrestling, MVP was there, Booker T was there, Kurt Angle was there, all getting camera time there on there. But this fight was built up to be one of the biggest haymakers of all time. I really felt that honestly this was going to be a really short one-hit knockout fight. I thought they really were building up the fact that, one of these guys was just going to flat out knock the other guy out. We saw them calling each other baby nuts and threatening to whip each other's junks out during the pre-fight press conference. Dada was calling out Kimbo, basically saying that he wasn't really from Miami, that he really basically took off as soon as he got there. Kimbo, a 42-year-old guy getting into the octagon, while Dada 5000 is 39. They basically were building up Kimbo Slice as being one of the first stars of YouTube with his Miami street fights that he came from. I don't know if these guys ever fought in the streets, if one guy beat the other guy, but basically they were just trying to find out who was the toughest street fighter of all time. I don't know, there was one point in this fight when the announcer said that this fight captured everyone watching this imagination of these two fighters. No, it did not. No, honestly, when the bell rung in the first round, Kimbo went all the way across the ring while Dada waited for him, and basically it looked like Kimbo actually wanted to bring the fight, and it almost looked like Dada didn't want to fight because immediately he was backing up. He didn't want to fight Kimbo Slice's style of fight, and took the fight to the ground, and then both of these guys rolled around on the ground. Basically, Kimbo was able to mount Dada, and that's where the fight basically lasted for three of the first few minutes of the fight before they were actually stood up. Once they almost got to the point where they were saved by the bell, you could definitely tell that these guys were just gassed out of their mind and had nothing left into the tank. They went to commercial. They came back. The commercial came out as the bell was ringing, so they were already up. But they said that basically Kimbo did not sit down on the stool while Dada did, and Dada needed help from his ring crew guys to actually get him up off of the stool to be ready to fight. We came out in the second round, and immediately they were back down on the ground. Late in the second round, we saw the fight actually get stood up out of the mount because nothing was going on and the fans were starting to boo. We went to the end of the second. They came out for the third round, and they actually stood up for a good minute of the fight, and Kimbo actually was punching Dada in the face. He got at least 8 to 10 punches in a row, and the only thing that was saving him was the cage because he kept on bouncing back off the cage. Finally, Kimbo sort of pulled him out towards the middle, punched him about 2 or 3 times, and then got out of the way as Dada just spun down to the mat and just fell down. Kimbo Slice gets the win in this fight. Hopefully we never see anything like this ever again. I know that Kimbo needs to fight to make money, but definitely you could tell from this fight that he did not have anything that was going to last maybe more than a minute, maybe 2 minutes tops. This guy was gassed out of his mind, and the only thing that saved him was that Dada's ring conditioning was worse than his.